Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. Now, The Old Guard is a film that came out of nowhere. I was not really expecting it. It is based on the comic book by Rucka and Leandro Fenrnandez. So when it was announced, as soon as it was announced, I say, let me watch it because I have read the comic book and I found it very interesting. And I know a lot of people right now are praising the film because of the action, but a lot of people are unaware of the comic book. And so in this video, I want to break down the good and the bad, what I like, what I don't like, and ultimately let you know if this is a great film or not. So in the next couple of minutes, stay tuned. The good. The first thing that we need to point out about this film is that it is an excellent adaptation of the source material. Now, Rucka and Leandro Fenrnandez were involved from the beginning, the creators of the comic book. Greg did the script of this film, so he made sure that a lot of the stuff that was said in the comic book were actually translated into the film. It is a word-for-word translation. Also, much of the scenery here is taken from the book. And I really like that. I really love it when this is not a watered down version of the comic book story. It is an excellent adaptation. And I think that's the best part of it. Now, for those who do not know Greg, he is an excellent writer when it comes about fantasy. Wonder Woman is considered one of his best works. And definitely he kind of really took a lot of inspiration from Wonder Woman when he created The Old Guard that is published by Image Comics. It is now going through the second arc, but this is based on the first arc. And it's the introduction of this Immortals. And definitely it's an excellent adaptation. And I really enjoy that. The second thing that I really enjoy about this film is the acting. I think the actors here are likable, and that's excellent. Charlice Theron portrays the main character in the story, an Amazonian-like warrior who is immortal. She's in her element. When it comes about this strong female characters, I think she's very good at it, and she's very likable doing this. She's been doing this for quite a while, and definitely you can see that. You can see the intensity that she really gives her 100% in the acting and the action scenes and all of that. I think I like her. Also, Kiki Layne, who is the youngest actress here, she portrays the youngest member of this immortal team. Niles, who is pretty much a Marine that actually dies in Afghanistan and discovers she's immortal. I like her too. She's very young, but she has a strong personality. And I really enjoy all the actors that are part of this. It's a very small group, but everything is concentrated in these characters. And of course, every character it takes pretty much from the role of the comic book story. And I enjoy their acting. I enjoy actually what they do and what they really give into the film. Now, what most people are going to love about this film is going to be the action. And that's the thing that people are going to feel attracted to. Of course, you know, we love this type of scene. So people were even comparing this to John Wick or trying to make comparisons with it. I'm not going to go as far. I think John Wick is very masterful. But it's not the first time, even John Wick is not the first tactical type of film where you see this action going on. I think there's many films like that. And it seems that Hollywood is getting better at really portraying this type of scenes. And The Old Guard is no exception. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, but I like it. What they have, they really did a fantastic job in portraying those scenes. It is, again, it's not perfect, but it's very fun. And actually, that's the most fun you're going to have with this film. The bad. Now it's time to talk about the bad. The first thing that people are going to, I would say, point out, or they're going to complain about this film is the fact that there's a lot of tropes and a lot of cliches in this film. Things that we have seen before. People were even trying to compare this with Highlander or other films in the same vein. Now, keep in mind, of course, this is based on the comic book story. And if you haven't read it, I recommend it. The art is fantastic. It is mature. It's not for kids. And I love the writing of Rucka. Rucka is a good writer. When it comes about this type of stories, he's excellent. You know, not only because he portrays the story, but also he portrays the character, and they say the temper, and also the feelings of the characters. He's very good at that. So he does, as a scriptwriter on this film, he does the same thing. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't take, or he doesn't use his cliches, even in the comic book or tropes. He does that, and he does that the same thing in the film. It is based on so many things that he loves. He took this from the idea when he was writing, actually, Wonder Woman, with the same idea of what would it happen in a world where an Amazonian, like Wonder Woman, can live forever and that never dies, and of course everyone dies around her. Is she jaded? How can she live on this when everyone that you love is no longer here? So he took from that idea. And pretty much, and that inspired part of what, in this case, the comic book, The Old Guard, is. And of course, this translates into the film. And there are ideas there and there. There's a lot of tropes, a lot of cliches from pop culture, from other franchises and movies and stories and all that. He takes from all of that and he creates The Old Guard. And I'm not complaining, but yeah, some people are going to say, well, I've seen this before. They're going to point out that there's nothing unique about this story. And that's a fair assessment. Now, another thing that this film lacks is a strong villain. Now, the villain in this film, it's cliche. Again, we're talking about cliches here. It's something that we have seen before. The events that, a person that is so rich, he wants to pretty much tap into the immortality of these characters of the Old Guard, and he wants to use it for his own advantage. We have seen this before in so many different variations. Now, if you read the comic book, the villain is a maniac character. He's crazy. He's not the best villain, but he is crazy. Now, the guy they use here, I'm not saying that he's a bad actor. He does his job, but he is more like a techie type of guy. He doesn't inspire fear to me, or it doesn't make me feel afraid. So I don't know. It just may be a nitpick. I just find that, it was part of the story just to kind of push the narrative of the story, but not necessarily a villain that you feel connected. Of course, there is another character in the background, but that's not part of the story. It's going to be a part of a second story that they're going to create, which I'm glad, because definitely the film deserves that. But yeah, the villain is not the strong part of this film. Another offender in this film is the pacing. Now, throughout the story, you're going to notice that there are moments that are kind of like eureka moments. You already know, okay, I already know where this is going. I've seen it before. But also there are moments where things are pushed from one scene to the other where there's no explanation how they got to this point. And that's bad. But I feel that they do it in a way to compensate for the time. Of course, you cannot, do this. You can push this into a whole series, but you're doing a movie, so you're going to have to make sacrifices. And they did it well. But also that affects the pacing. It goes from some soapy moments. They're trying to be a bit soapy at times, emotional, but they don't connect with you on an emotional level because of the time. And then it goes into action. And yeah, it goes from slow to fast. And actually, I love the fast moments. The action scenes are the best part of the film. The moments where there's more conversation and there's more dialogue, they're not as great. So yes, you're going to see that. So if you come in for the action, you're definitely going to enjoy that. But if you come in for more deep connection, you're not going to find that. And it's going to be like something that you have seen before and not as well applied or well done. In conclusion, well, I'm telling you this, all things considered, I did have a lot of fun with this film. I really enjoyed it. Even with all the shortcomings, they're not big offenders. Even the shortcomings are not big offenders. I had fun with the action. The acting was fair. It was good for what it was. The story is a great adaptation, and I respect that. I did have fun, and I enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward to a second film in this series. It is all there. The possibilities are there. And the good thing about this is that the comic book is also growing with the film. They're actually going hand in hand. And I really enjoy that. It doesn't mean that you have to read the comic book to understand what's going on with the film. You can just simply watch the film and still have fun with it. But of course, it expands your view when you read the comic book story. I love it. I really enjoy what they did. It's new territory, and I'm glad that they're pushing for this. This is a better film than many that came before it, films that they have done this before, based on comic book stories, like Hellboy or Bloodshot. I think they fail in so many areas. They were good. Bloodshot, I think, was better than Hellboy, but they were not, I would say, as integral or as concentrated as this one was. I think the Old Guard kind of take lessons from that. It's the same production company, and they apply it, and they concentrate on the story. They concentrate mostly on the action part. I think that's what people want to watch and want to see in this type of films, and I really enjoy it. It's a recommendation. So yes, if I have to give this film a final score, I would say it's a 7.5 out of 10, which in my book is very good. It's not perfect. It's not going to win Oscars or any awards, but it is enjoyable, and that's all we need in this time, and that we're going all through. We need enjoyment. Now that we cannot go to the movie theater, this is definitely a good solution through Netflix. But what is your opinion? Have you watched this film? Do you like it? Do you think it's just a repetition of so many things before? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.